Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well. After, how should I put it nicely? But hey, why should I put it nicely? After the people of Niger kicked out the French troops out of their country, and they are about to kick the American beautiful troops out of their country, they invited some Russian instructors to come and train their troops against terrorism, so anti-terrorism training. Do you believe that? Well, that's a fact. Now, the terms could be used differently, like these guys are just instructors, they just train the people of Niger for some anti-terrorist operations. That was the reason why the French and the Americans were beforehand. I suggest the African brothers should be independent as much as they can. And as of now, I think maybe they give it a try with the Russians because the other guys showed their real face too many times. So what do we have here? We have two articles, a map and some information about the country of Niger. The articles, one comes from Ukrainska Pravda, the other one comes from the evil Russians, from Sputnik. So must be lying, but they talk about the same thing, which is Nigerian TV reports Russian instructors and air defense systems against terrorism to be operating there. So let's start with Russian, because the Russians are going to present it in a certain way, and obviously Ukrainska Pravda will present it in a different way. You know, some people's terrorists are other people's something else, you know. Sputnik. Russian specialists arrive in Niger to train local forces on combating terrorism. Hey. Vive la France. Oh, vive le Niger. Okay. Russian specialists have arrived in Niger to train local forces on combating terrorism, a Sputnik correspondent reported from the scene. The personnel is fully prepared and vaccinated against diseases, was acquired with local diseases? Is how you spell it? Diseases? Anyway, I think we will manage. A Russian medical worker who arrived with specialists says, I don't think disease is like an S somewhere. Okay, it's wrong. Move on. Ukrainska Pravda. Nigerian TV reports Russian instructors and air defense systems to be operating there. The state television of Niger reported the Russian military instructors arrived in the country on a plane loaded with military equipment. I think there was about 2,000 Russians will be deployed over there to fight against terrorism. The instructors arrived, this is Radio Liberty, citing RTN, Niger's state television. The instructors arrived after the junta and Russian leader Vladimir Putin reached an agreement to strengthen cooperation. In the channel's report, a man in camouflage uniform said they arrived to train the Nigerian army and develop military cooperation between Russia and Niger. RTN also reported that Russia has agreed to install an air defense system in Niger. A former French colony, Niger was a partner of France and United States in security matters. It was kicked out. Now, what do we have? We have Niger, which is located right here. Is a map of Africa, obviously. This is the Mediterranean Sea. The former colonizers are right there a little bit north of that. And the Russians came from there. So they come here. This is Niger, right in the middle of the bazaar. And then let's find out what the hell does Niger have that these guys are so eager to help them. You know, none of these countries, none of them do not come over there because they have a big heart. They have to have a profit somewhere. And I will show you, besides the geopolitical location, some advantages. Economy, and you find out main article, see also oil and mining industry. The economy of Niger centers on subsistence crops, livestock, and some of the World's largest uranium deposits. In 2021, Niger was the main supplier of uranium to the EU, followed by Kazakhstan and Russia. So who's gonna have uranium? These guys. Why don't you want to check how France, the ones that were kicked out, their energy sector operates? They have nuclear power plants. Okay, so this is one, and we have here a little diagram. It says a proportional representation of Niger exports. Gold, right there, 53.7%, if I see correctly, or 2, doesn't really matter. Then we have other oily seeds, 25%. Is not clear, but if I may, oh, oops, doopsie. Good, there you go. And then 53.7, as I said, and then we have radioactive chemicals, 7%, petroleum and gas, 4.99, so 5%, refined petroleum, 2.25. So a rich country with a poor population. Why is that? Because these guys who want to help you and protect you, they take the resources. That's what it is. I remember when I first came to the United States of America, I was telling a friend of mine at that time, and still is, about how rich Romania is and so on. And he asked me, why is then Romania poor? And I was like, I don't know, corruption. And this country is made out of, let me show you with the population. So the first thing here is religion, and it's 99.3 Islam. And then we have the population 2023 estimate 25 million people. About, how do you call it? Iraq, if you remember, Iraq. And the country here is much bigger than Iraq. Nevertheless, so I think that's a fantastic success for the Russians foreign ministry, who worked out this, plus the military and intelligence services, which obviously helped some people push others out so they can invite Russia in. I mean, do you think the Russians are not working as these guys work? And vice versa? Only baboons think that FBI and CIA are just, well, I'm not talking about, situations where indeed these, what do you call them, agencies are operating the way they were supposed to. But unfortunately, I think some people in high up positions hijacked some countries. And nevertheless, I think Niger right now is part of Russia's sphere of influence. They kicked out the French. We'll see if the Americans are willy-nilly going out, because I know the junta was talking, or at least the temporary government, or the guys in charge of Niger, spoke with the Americans to negotiate it, telling them to bid it. And we'll see the Americans will bid it just like that, or it will just create problems, a little spontaneous, how do you call it, uprising or demonstrations. That's how they start. And then the will of the people. So here is, my friends, big successful move by the Russians. And I hope that the people of Niger will benefit out of it. And I hope they will become more and more independent and sovereign. I don't think they are. Once you have foreign troops on your territory that can change certain things in your country, I don't think you're independent whatsoever. Once you need protection from these guys, and then these guys get kicked out and the other guys come with the protection, it's not about terrorism and this. Yeah, it is. The rest is, you got uranium, I got gold, what are you talking about? You got oil, what are you talking about? It's not like that? All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.